What's going on, people? Hope you are all well and feeling positive. Obviously, at the moment, we've got a lot going on with lockdown and the situation. And I know a lot of people are getting, stressed and having anxiety and suffering with their mental health in general. And it's easy to get into bad habits. And I want you guys to make sure that you stay focused on your goals, keep that daily routine and keep those habits. It's more important than ever. And you will get to your goals. So I want you to stay on track and believe in yourself. And this is just a setback towards where you want to get to. And today I'm going to talk about stress and optimizing the body, your habits, your mental health. So I'm going to talk about the causes of stress first. The first one obviously being poor nutrition, lack of sleep, overtraining, and overworking. All of these have a same effect on the body, even same as worry and overthinking. That has a physiological stress response on the body, the same as overtraining or having lack of calories and nutrients in your diet, lack of rest. So even if you're worrying and you're thinking like you're getting chased by a tiger and you're just lying in bed and you're shitting yourself and thinking fuck, and it's like actually it's not even real, but the mind thinks it's real and it has that same response in the body. And having negative emotions in the body, they get stored in the body: anger, sadness, fear, hurt and guilt. You need to be able to remove these negative emotions and energy out of the body, because subconsciously they can trigger at times you really don't want them to, and they can cause unwanted stress. So a lot of people's triggers are subconscious, and these negative emotions from past experiences, and it's so important to release these. Obviously, meditation is one of the best things for that, to tap into the subconscious. Hypnotherapy, timeline therapy is so effective, and even one session of that can clear out and have a bit of a clear out. It's like a reset on a program, like you're a computer program. It's like restoring your hard drive, clearing it out and wiping off all those negatives that you don't want. And the effects of these are depression, anxiety with a overstimulated nervous system, and then obviously you get the imbalance of that, and then you'll have a crash and depression. So anxiety and overstimulation of the nervous system is followed by a crash. What goes up must come down, and then we have a balance. They're connected. Anxiety and depression are connected together. So if you have one, you're usually going to get the other at some point because of the imbalance of the nervous system, the adrenal glands, the yin and yang balance of the body as well. And a lot of people suffer with too much stimulation, with the poor diet, the stimulation from the phones and technology, just in general, really, the way that lifestyles are, and physical tension in the body builds up, and that can lead to stress. If you have a tension in the body, it comes out as tension in the mind, and vice versa. They're connected. And that can lead to obviously poor cognitive function and focus, and an imbalance in hormones as well. I'm trying to run through all these quick as I can because there's a lot to go through. So having the balance is really important with the work and the relaxation, having that yin and yang balance within you and your lifestyle, and making sure that that you are taking care of yourself, and what I talked about before, those values and those goals and what's important to you, and making sure that you are doing things daily to make sure you optimize your health, not just your physical health, but your energetic, emotional and mental health. And they're all interlinked, and all your daily lifestyle habits are really important to how you feel. And how you feel is really one of the most important things. And the outcomes that people want and the goals and things they want, getting money, getting the body, getting X, the X amount of this, or getting to that certain destination, it's actually the feeling and the emotion that they want out of that situation that they really actually want. So I'm going to talk you through a few things now that are really important to make sure we optimize this. So to change your state and the way you feel, you need to change your physiology. So it's really important to have a good routine, and we need to have a balance of the cortisol in the body, which is the stress hormone. And typically it should be high in the morning and low at night. And usually a lot of people now, like I said about the lifestyle, they struggle with their sleep, they're overworked, overstimulated in general. And then usually it's the other way around. So what we want to do in the morning is we want to have movement, and make sure that we relax in the body as well, relax in the mind, so we can do some meditation, some breath work, some stretching. I'm going to put some more pointers, tips below, and I'm also going to give you a picture of my whiteboard because I've got a lot of stuff going on here today. So obviously with nutrition, really important, because if you undereat, that stresses the body. If we have poor quality foods, if we have chemicals in the body, that can be stressors on the body. All these little things have the same physiological effect on the body, and they will release cortisol and adrenaline together, and that can really, obviously, if in small amounts, can be okay, but if you really have chronic stress and chronic stimulation on the body, then you will obviously weaken your immune system, you'll sort of you'll have no energy, lack of cognitive function and focus. And it's really important to make sure that we balance this stress. It's one of the most important things you can have in your life and your health, for your health. So it's really important. In terms of overthinking and worry, just as simple as what I tell my clients is, if you worry, focus back on the moment and focus back on your breath. What this will do is get you from out your head and into your body and into the moment. When you're in the moment, you connect to the energetic field, the universe, whatever you want to call it, and you don't have that separation and you're not in your head. So you're going back into the subconscious. And when you live in the moment, you can't really live in fear or stress or worry. So that's really simple and really effective. And you can build up your energy as well with breath work, because breath is life force energy. It's called prana. So the more breath you can get and the more deep breaths you can get, and by changing your physiology like that, you can actually energize yourself and you will come out of a stress response state, because the physiology of stress is shallow breathing, tension in the body, in the jaw, in the shoulders. If you can release that stress, and this is one thing I learned from my NLP coaching, is when you change your physiology, you change your state. So if you are just like hunched up and tight and tense, that will make cortisol release in your body. But if you can relax the body and even just hold like a power pose like this, and just pretend you're 10 men. So just doing that will change your physiology, and you'll have a better balance of hormones. And in terms of the hormones, a big one is the steroid hormone, which is cortisol, testosterone, estrogen. When the steroid hormone cortisol is too high, it will actually block the receptors of the other two. So whether you're male or female, it'll actually lower those, and it will have libido problems and mood, energy. That affects all of those, which is really important. Okay, next thing is your gut health, because your gut is your emotional center. We have three brains. One is the normal brain, then we have the heart, which is the most powerful electromagnetic one, and then we have the gut, which is the emotional center and your intuition. And the emotional center is where we release and produce serotonin. So if you have poor gut health, that's your immune system as well, then that will really affect your mood, that will really affect the way you feel, because serotonin is the happy hormone. So it's really important to have really good gut health and watch out for those foods that don't make you feel good. One of the most common ones is gluten that affects people. Now, this is because it inflames the gut lining of the gut and stops absorption of nutrients through the gut. If it irritates the gut, a lot of people are really susceptible to this and they don't realise. So try cutting gluten out, see how that makes you feel. Obviously, optimise your diet in general. Have probiotics and really keep that digestion, and even fasting, give the digestion rest, clear out your digestive tract, which can be really effective. And I talked about the balance of the cortisol and circadian rhythm, that will help you sleep. I'm going to give you a little tips as well below to balance your routines and before bed and when you wake up, and things you can do to really get that optimization of those, to get you sort of, you know, really into a good routine. And it's really important as well to really support your adrenal glands, which I'll give you some tips as well, because your adrenal glands get really overused and overstimulated, especially when you're training hard and you're working a lot and you have a physical job, and just with mental stress as well. All of these factors come in, and they just, if you have all of these negative factors, or talked about the causes that cause this, then it's like an overwhelming amount of stress on your body. Also, stimulants as well. I want you to stay away from the really strong stimulants, because they can have a real bad effect on your body. Too much stress. An extreme example would be taking real strong stimulants, like, okay, look at a meth head. It's a bit of an extreme example, but like a meth head, they're just destroying their body, because their body's in stress response, and they'll stay awake for like days, and they're just basically in that fight or flight mode for a long time. Now, I'm not saying you're gonna die, or you're gonna have, be really unhealthy, take pre-workout and overdo it on that, but just obviously limit those. And if you are sort of a very adrenalized person and you're very hyper, like me, especially I've had caffeine and stuff, then watch that, because you're probably not going to need that, and you need to really sort of balance that nervous system balance of the parasympathetic and the sympathetic nervous system, and getting that work and relaxation balance within you and your life, which is really important. So I want you guys to take these on board. I'm going to leave some more notes. I'm going to take a picture of this whiteboard for you so you can look through in more detail, because there's that many things on there. I think I've covered everything, but anything I've missed, have a look.